Imagine for a moment that your brain is like a high-performance laptop, a machine capable of incredible creativity, complex problem-solving, and long-term strategic planning. Now imagine that you have 40 tabs open in the background, a heavy video rendering in one window, and a system update that's been stuck at 99% for 3 days. That laptop isn't broken, but it's running hot. The fan is screaming, and even the simplest task, like opening a text file, takes 10 times longer than it should. This is exactly what is happening inside your head when you are struggling with money. We often talk about poverty as a lack of currency, a deficit in a bank account, but that is only the surface level of the problem. Underneath the numbers is something far more expensive and far more dangerous: the survival tax. This is the invisible interest rate you pay on your own cognitive bandwidth every single hour of every single day. My name is Bobby, and today we're going to look at the hidden neurological mechanics of why it is so incredibly difficult to stop being broke, and why the advice to just work harder or spend less is like telling a man with a broken leg to just run faster. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, but still feel like you're drowning, or if you feel like you've lost the mental spark you used to have, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Understanding the math of your mind is the first step to reclaiming your future, because today we are breaking down why your brain is actually programmed to keep you poor when you're under pressure. To understand the survival tax, we have to look at a concept called scarcity mindset. There was a groundbreaking study done by behavioral economists who tested the IQ of farmers in India. They tested them twice, once right after the harvest when they were flush with cash, and once right before the harvest when they were at their poorest. The results were staggering. The exact same human beings scored 13 points lower on their IQ tests during the period of scarcity. To put that in perspective, 13 points is the difference between an average intelligence and a gifted one, or the equivalent of losing an entire night of sleep. When you are worried about rent, when you are calculating the cost of a gallon of milk in the grocery aisle, or when you're wondering if that weird noise your car made this morning is going to cost $500 you don't have, your brain enters a state called tunneling. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for impulse control and long-term planning, effectively shuts down. You lose the ability to see the big picture because your biological hardware is screaming at you to survive the next 24 hours. This is the survival tax in action. It's not that you're becoming less intelligent, it's that your brain is reallocating all of its processing power to immediate survival. You are paying a mental premium just to exist, and that premium leaves you with zero energy to actually build a way out. This tunneling effect leads to what outsiders call bad decisions. You see someone who is struggling financially buy a lottery ticket, or grab a bag of expensive fast food instead of cooking a healthy meal, or take out a payday loan with a 400% interest rate. The world looks at them and says, "See, that's why you're poor. You have no discipline." But they are ignoring the survival tax. When your cognitive bandwidth is maxed out, your brain loses the ability to care about 6 months from now. It only cares about right now. That fast food isn't a lack of discipline, it's a desperate attempt to get a quick hit of dopamine to soothe a nervous system that has been in fight or flight mode for weeks. The lottery ticket isn't a mathematical error, it's the purchase of a tiny, temporary window of hope in a life that feels like a dead end. The tragedy is that these survival decisions actually increase the survival tax. By solving the immediate problem of hunger or hopelessness, you create a larger future problem of debt and poor health. It's a feedback loop where the more you struggle, the harder it becomes to think your way out of the struggle. You are effectively renting your brain from the bank, and the interest rates are astronomical. But it gets even more insidious. The modern economy is specifically designed to exploit this brain fog. Think about how many companies rely on you being tired, stressed, and tunneled. Subscription services that are hard to cancel, buy now, pay later schemes that hide the true cost of a purchase, and grocery store layouts that put high-margin junk food right at the eye level of an exhausted parent. These industries aren't just selling products, they are harvesting your lack of bandwidth. They know that when you are paying the survival tax, you won't read the fine print, you won't compare prices. You will take the path of least resistance because you literally do not have the mental energy to do anything else. This creates a secondary tax, the convenience premium. You buy the expensive pre-cut vegetables because you're too exhausted to chop them. You pay the late fee because you forgot the bill existed. You pay the higher insurance premium because you didn't have the time to shop around. Being broke makes you a high-maintenance human being, requiring more energy to perform the same daily functions as a wealthy person. The rich man doesn't have to think about his bank balance, so he can use that extra mental space to find a better investment, learn a new skill, or negotiate a higher salary. The poor man is so busy being a CFO of crumbs that he never has the time to become the CEO of his own life. So how do you break a cycle that is hard-coded into your biology? How do you stop paying the survival tax when you're already bankrupt of energy? The answer isn't hustle culture. The answer is strategic bandwidth recovery. You have to stop viewing your money and your time as your most valuable assets and start viewing your decision-making power as the real gold. The way out of the tunnel isn't to run faster, it's to stop and turn on a flashlight. The first step is what I call radical simplification. If your brain has too many tabs open, you have to force close them. This means automating every single thing you possibly can, even if you're broke. Set every bill to autopay, even if it's for the minimum. Declutter your physical space so your eyes are sending stress signals to your brain every time you walk into a room. You need to reduce the number of choices you have to make every day to 0. This is why many of the world's most successful people wear the same clothes every day. They are saving their bandwidth for the things that actually move the needle. When you're in survival mode, you don't have the luxury of variety. You need the luxury of certainty. The climax of this journey happens when you realize that the first $1,000 you save isn't for an emergency, it's for your sanity. That buffer we talked about in the last video is actually a neurological shield. When you have a small pile of cash sitting in a high-yield savings account, something magical happens to your brain chemistry. The cortisol levels, the stress hormone, begin to drop. The check engine light scenario we discussed earlier no longer causes a 13-point drop in your IQ. You have bought back your cognitive bandwidth. Suddenly, you can see the big picture again. You can notice the job opening you missed before. You can find the strength to say no to the impulsive purchase. You are no longer paying the survival tax, and for the first time in years, you are actually dry in the Boots theory sense. You have to get angry at the system that profits from your exhaustion. Use that anger to ruthlessly cut out the vampire tabs in your life. Stop trying to save money and start trying to save your mind. Every dollar you keep is a microsecond of peace you are buying for your future self. If this resonated with you, if you felt that brain fog of being broke and realized it wasn't a character flaw but a biological response, I want to hear from you in the comments. What is one tab you are going to close in your life this week to save your bandwidth? Sharing your struggle helps break the shame, and breaking the shame is the only way to kill the scarcity mindset. We are building a community of people who are tired of playing a rigged game and are ready to start playing their own. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown of these hidden financial truths. Give this video a like if it helped you see your situation in a new light. Remember, you aren't bad with money, you're just paying an unfair tax on your survival. It's time to stop paying it. It's time to buy back your brain. I'll see you in the next one.